In this video, we'll talk about why you might want to change your trailing stop loss to lock in profits. So for instance, we entered a trade on LRC down here, okay, and we've already been cashed out on one position. You'll see it's doesn't look like it's going to continue, but maybe it might continue, similar to like something like this, right? We don't know that yet. But if we go to the tool, and the tool that I'm talking about here is in the description, so you'll see a link for it in the description. Now you'll see our trailing stop loss is already in place. Now let's refresh that, see if it went down a little bit. Yeah, so we went down 3.6%. We already got cashed out of one position at 3.4, right? So this is our test account, so that's why the positions are smaller than our typical positions. But so let's go and let's change this. Let's say that because we're already in profit now and we've got a trailing stop loss, let's say that we want to protect this profit a little bit more, right? We looked at the chart, we kind of the market's changed a little bit, and we've kind of seen what happened, right? So what we would do is you can go to edit and just click on edit. And right now our trailing stop is at 0.9% on the positive side. That means it's 0.9% trailing, and then we can increase that to maybe like, let's do 1.5%. So maybe we want to increase our profit, or lock in our profit, right? And you'll see here our take profit is at 5.9 with a trailing deviation of 1%, right? And we can edit that. And you notice when we edit this, of course it says it's been updated. If we go to LRC, was that LRC, right? So you'll see here's that position, and notice that it moved up our trailing stop here, right? So it locked in basically more of our profit. So that's something you can do. This is a little bit better this is a quick trade, right? It's like a day trade. This is a little bit better if you're in a longer swing trade and something maybe you want to lock in a little bit of profit because maybe something changed in the market, or let's say that you're up 15% and you want to lock in maybe 11%. So you could up your trailing stop a little bit higher. So that's something to do. I would never change it on the downside because if a trade's going against you, unless you have a really good reason on why you should up your downside stop loss, you just need to be very mindful of that. But upping a lot of times what we do too, so this one here on waves, for instance, well, ELF is a better example. ELF, we originally started the ELF position on a negative, our stop loss was negative 3%. We've since upped it to lock in profit at just 1%. So yeah, we're locked in at 1%, but when we looked at the chart, when we looked at the update and where the market is, Bitcoin's going crazy and everything else, we kind of said, well, let's just lock in profit, right? So that's something to keep in mind. You can change your trailing stop to a positive number to then, as the price rises, as you see here, notice that our trailing stop is rising as well. So as the price is rising, our trailing stop is rising, so we're locking in more profit on the downside, especially in something like this on a low volume chart like LRC. Sometimes it runs like this, and then sometimes it just stops, right? You just don't know. I mean, if we look at what's happening, right? I mean, there's a large, I don't know, can't tell. There's a sell order there, right? There's a buy order there, right? So it is starting to tick up. So, well, let's watch this trade and let's just kind of see what happens so you can get a feel. If you're new to this tool, once again, the link is in the description. Let's kind of watch it and see how it transpires here. See, we're up here. Now, remember what we have there is we put in I think it was a 5% deviation, or no, 5.9% take profit. So when it hits 5.9%, when it hits, is this it? No, it's not. When it hits 5.9% profit, it would start doing the deviation trading basically, or the deviation take profit, what that means is that once it hits that, it's going to go into another mode, and then if it goes up to 6.9%, then we'll be cashed out at 5.9. That's the hope. That's the dream, I should say. If it goes up to 7.9, we'll be cashed out around 6.9. If it goes up to, as it goes up progressively, we have a 1% deviation, right? So we'll see if this, two things are going to happen here. Well, we're probably going to get stopped out on our stop loss, right? So, you know, I anticipate we'll probably get stopped out unless the you know, the behavior kicks in. Now you might say here too, well, if you would have maybe kept your stop loss a little bit, maybe if you looked at the, let's look at the 3-minute chart, right? So you might say, well, your stop loss is, well, it's not there. So it's probably right here, right? So there's a support level here that I guess if someone's looking at the 3-minute, let's look at the 5-minute. If you're looking at the 5-minute chart, you could say the support levels here, someone might be buying this dip because they think there's going to be a breakout, right? Who knows? That's the only scenario I would see that would make this rise at this point in time, is someone's buying this dip on the 5-minute, because it's not a 10-minute dip. Yeah, so someone's buying the dip on the 5-minute, right? They're buying the dip on the 5-minute thinking, okay, if I buy this dip, there's going to be support and this is going to moon, right? That's what they're expecting. Or there's just emotions hitting this right now. Who knows, right? So let's go back and let's see if we got stopped out yet. So we're just sitting there. But you'll see here with just that simple change, we've kind of locked in more profit because it didn't reach our take profit level, right? So it didn't reach our take profit level. So that didn't trigger. So if we would have kept it the same, it would still be down here. And this run that's happening right now looks like it might be dying out. So we might have got a little too aggressive on our profit target as well, right? But because that didn't get triggered, so we probably got a little too aggressive on that. But because we were watching this, or we just updated it, right? We do check our positions. We were able to go in there and raise our take profit level to lock in more profit. And I bet we'll be stopped out here on the stop loss here. So let's see what happens. I'll pause the video and then I'll come back. Well, what do you know? Looks like someone's buying the dip. So, I mean, I don't know who, but there's people buying the dip, at least temporarily. So we'll see. I mean, this can change. Obviously, a big sell wall could pop up and stop it, a big order, but it is starting to, you'll see it's starting to trend up on the 5-minute. So we're starting to see an uptrend. I assume, you know, this is where, if we look back at our position, yeah, it's just up a little bit. So I'll pause the video, come back with the results. All right, so you'll see this, our stop loss was finished and we got stop lossed out of this position at 4.2%. So let's look at the chart just to kind of see, see what happened and see if we can see anything on the 5-minute. So obviously it lost steam here, right? And then obviously the price drifted down and it stopped us out, right? We did not hit our profit, take profit level, but you know, it looks like it's losing steam. Usually if these things on low volume charts like this, they pump, they like really pump, like it goes crazy, right? So you'll see something more like this is what you'll see, right? It could still do that, right? We could still see that, but once again, a green trade is a green trade. We protected our profits by changing our stop loss to the positive side, and we were up 4.2%. So hopefully this gives you an overview of why you would maybe want to up your stop loss if you maybe started with a negative stop loss. Once again, the link for this tool is in the description. Also, join the Discord group. We talk crypto trading. I do update on BTC, and then also as I do more trading, I do share the trades that I'm doing. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.